What's up, everybody out there in podcast land?
Hello.
Once again, you have tuned in to the Midnight Turnaround podcast for February. It's not even February. It's March. Wait. There's a ghostual voice in the room.
There is.
It's mystery. The listeners aren't used to hearing this.
Who could this be?
Who could this be in March of 2013? It is none other than Victor Yoli himself.
What we'll do is we'll bump that up in post so it sounds like a crowd. Hello, my good friend Aaron.
Hello, sir. Welcome back to the podcast.
You know, the funny thing about that is...
What's that?
Is, we didn't stop hanging out for 3 months.
No.
We still hung out. So it's not like, welcome back. I haven't seen you in so long. I see you like all the time.
Yeah.
But we just haven't had the time to sit down and do this.
Yes.
So really, it's me welcoming the listeners back, or listener, depending on how long we were on break for.
Or how many times I listened to it.
Right.
You could be welcoming me back multiple
times, which I like to think I do.
Well, let me tell you this. We put out the mini-sode in February.
Yeah, I like how you talked about, I didn't even tell Vic I was going to do this.
I went on the sneaky.
And it was like a surprise. I felt betrayed, but surprised at the same time. Because I'm like, whoa, a new episode. I don't even remember being there.
Yeah, that's right. We went down a listener. 70. We held 70
I don't like
solid.
that.
We held 70 solid, right?
It takes a lot of effort to go and actually unlike something.
It does.
I don't think I've ever unliked anything.
It does. And I don't know who did it, but we lost one.
We'll find out.
So you know what? After the last mini-sode, we did another push on the interwebs, and we're up to 75 now.
There we go.
So whoever unliked us, booyah, we got...
Unless they unliked us because we didn't do anything, and then we put out the mini-sode, and they're like, oh, they're still at it. My apologies.
Yeah.
I'll like them again.
Maybe they apologized to an entire radio show.
Maybe they did.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll like you again.
I'll like you again. I had too many likes as it is. I couldn't fit one more.
Yeah.
You guys weren't doing anything, so I unliked.
Well, they had to go like eating spaghetti on Fridays.
You know what gets me, and I know exactly what it is. When you see people like the most random stuff that you wouldn't like. I mean, you'd like it in real life, but you don't make the effort to like it on Facebook.
Hugs in the rain.
No. Not. I mean, like real, like products.
Okay.
Like Aaron Harrison likes Samsung. Because all those like mobile games and stuff that are like free to play, but they have like coins or something. It's like, get more coins. It's like us on Facebook and you'll get more coins. And you see your friends like Victor Yoli loves Tide. It's why? Like, yeah, he probably likes Tide. He probably washes his clothes occasionally. He probably enjoys a good detergent. But why would he go out of his way to actually physically go to a website and click a like button for a
you're not a fan of Tide.
No.
Like, you don't see someone using Purex and go like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, really, dude? I'm actually partial to Gain.
Gain.
I like Gain.
So...
Apple Mango Tango.
Speaking of Facebook likes, facebook.com/midnight turnaround is where you can see our quiet hiatus.
Yeah. It's been quiet.
It's been quiet.
But it's about to get loud.
Yeah. We are gearing up for a year of mediocrity.
I was talking. Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody the other day about dick pics. About sending dick pics.
It was me.
Was it you?
For some reason.
I don't remember. Somebody told me.
Wait, go ahead and tell.
I think
maybe it wasn't me, unless this is a comment.
No. Someone sent me a meme, and it said like, "I'm gonna get drunk and send dick pics to my ex and eat Mexican food."
Mm-hmm.
And they sent it to me saying, "This made me think of you." I was like, well, if you knew me, I wouldn't send it to my ex-girlfriend. I'd send it to my next girlfriend. Because I like to say, "What's up, girl? I'm average." I like to, preface the relationship before it starts.
And I'm wondering if that's the vibe you put out. Like, you put out the I'll send you dick pics vibe.
I'll send you dick pics vibe? Maybe that's why I'm single.
I don't know.
No one wants to get to know me because they're afraid I'll send them a dick pic.
I don't know, but I will tell you this. We are sitting here fully bearded.
We are bearded.
I mean, I'm letting mine ride.
See, I'm on the fence because usually... I just do the winter beard.
Yeah.
I do it because it's cold and it keeps my face warm. And it's also stylish and I wear it well. But I usually lose it as the temperature rises.
Yes.
And now we're getting closer to spring. And I'm like, I don't need the winter beard any longer.
Yeah.
even though it's, you know, once you shave the beard, then you got to shave all the time. It becomes a hassle to take care of.
Yeah.
I usually am a seasonal beard wearer. You are an all the time beard wearer. Mm-hmm. I think you just tend to let it get thicker and longer.
Yes.
In the
damn it. Keep going.
In the winter months, you let it get longer and or thicker, whereas I just grow it in the winter and then I shave it for the spring, summer, fall seasons. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and tight during the summertime. But it's still there.
Keep it tight.
I'll keep it short and tight.
Hey, man, keep your beard tight.
That's right. If you learn anything from the Midnight Turnaround, it's keep your beard tight. Unless it's wintertime, and then let it ride. So anyway, we're getting off topic here. We are.
We had our hiatus, and you discussed it slightly in the mini-sode.
Yes.
Obviously, there was holidays going on. There was Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and
Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us. Chanukah for our Jewish friends. Kwanzaa for Tony, who's not here.
Who? Never mind. That's right. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Let's discuss the migration of Midnight Turnaround personalities.
The shakeup,
if you will.
Okay. Well, really, here's why I want to discuss it. First of all, there's no like hatred. There's no kicking off the show. None of that stuff. No. I hate the radio industry. That you can attest to this, that you get to know a personality, you listen to them daily or weekly or whatever, then all of a sudden, they're gone out of nowhere.
Right.
It's not addressed, especially like morning shows when you listen to the personality more than like daytime and evening when they're running music.
Right.
I hate that. I just want to go like, well, what happened to this person? Like, why are they gone all of a sudden? And you're not saying a thing. So that's what we want to address.
Right.
Because as I'm sure people that listen, if you're
a long-time listener, you know the show started as a 4-piece.
Yes.
With Tony and Jeremy.
Yeah.
And then it slowly kind of became a 2-piece.
Right.
And there was never any, you know, you're not our friends, we don't like you anymore, you can't be on the show.
Yeah.
It was like you discussed in the mini-sode, life happens.
Yeah.
People get busy. It just so happens that you and I typically work Monday through Friday. They work on the weekends a lot when, you know, and it started to not work out where the 4 of us could get together. It's really hard to get four people together on a regular basis
that I can't provide a paycheck for.
Right. I mean, to say, hey, we're going to do work that you're not getting paid for.
Yeah.
So it was never any, you guys aren't on the show anymore. It just became, they couldn't make it this episode. We'll do one anyway. Yeah. Oh, they couldn't make it this week. Oh, they couldn't make it this week. To eventually, it just became the two of us.
It became you and me on the mics together.
Thought you were gonna pull out something amazing, and you didn't.
And what you can't hear is I did like an '80s, like free or early '90s freeze frame at the end of the theme song.
It did. There was like a streak coming out of him, like a streak. But so yeah, for the most part, I mean, as far as I know, that it'll still remain to be a 2-piece.
Is that a question?
No, it was a statement.
You upward inflected though. Like, as far as I know, it'll be a 2-piece.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Then you gave me the big eyes like it was a question. Like, no, you didn't do that.
So if you thought it was a question, instead of answering the question, you asked me if it was a question? Are you fucking stupid?
You were tiptoeing the line of, is it a question or is it not a question?
But
I can't handle the stress right now.
It's so stressful. But, okay, to wrap that up, Tony and Jeremy are not fired from the show, but they're just not on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no hard feelings. I mean, they could come back whenever they want to come back. It just has never been able to work out in the last few months.
The Man. We talked about The Man a lot last season. What would we call...
I think I'm going to go seasons.
Season. So,
because this is going to be episode 2 of 2000.
Of season 2.
2013. Yeah. Or years or whatever.
However. But last season, we'll call it. We talked a lot about The Man. Because it would be like me, you, and Jeremy. We talk about how the man has Tony.
The man had Tony.
It would be me, you, and Tony. We talk about how the man had Jeremy.
Yeah.
And then eventually, apparently they're doing really good at their jobs because the man wants them there all the time.
I mean, they're there a lot.
So then, it would be me, you, and the man would have them.
Yeah.
because the man has us during the week.
Right.
We tell the man to fuck off on the weekend.
That's right. Directly to his face.
We do.
I'm like, am I clocked out? All right, fuck off, man.
Fuck off, man.
I'm out of here. Can't keep me here past my hours unless you need me to.
But the other thing I think that you and I kind of got caught up in was not the fact that, it was really difficult for the two of us to get together and talk for 45 minutes on a microphone. That wasn't necessarily the hard part. The hard part was that we had a lot of ideas that we wanted to come to fruition and have this big, grand beginning to the new season.
Yes.
We wanted to do like website updates and have new segments and new, production and stuff, new theme song, new pictures, new everything.
Yeah.
And it became trouble to do that. So we said, well, if we can't get all that together, then let's wait and not do the show yet. And then eventually it's way too long.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck it, let's just do a show.
Yeah.
And that way we can get back in the groove of doing the show. And I think, improve these elements as we go.
Yeah.
Because it's way more motivating to do it while you have a show than while you're on a break from a show.
Yeah.
To say, I got to get this done by this weekend.
There is a little more pressure put on. Like, let's figure something out. And we are, working on producing more content. We got away, didn't get away. We're more towards like stories and that sort of thing in the first season. We're actually going to try to have people in segments and...
Yeah, I want to have a lot more, especially now that we're down to a two-piece.
There will still be...
I want to have more guests.
Still be conversation. And it'll probably be mostly talking, hopefully entertaining. But we are going to try to get some, maybe some outside field stuff done. And
BTW, we have yet to do our number one plug, which is midnightturnaround@gmail.com.
Oh, shit.
I
did not plug that at the top at all.
It was always one of my favorite segments when we would discuss it because we got so few emails. We mostly got spam from like porn sites.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, let's check the email. And it'd be all like, three-way girl action. And it'd be funny. But I think this season, especially... trying to get more guests and things in here like that, different types of entertainment, some music, maybe we can get some comedians and things of that nature. We can start to get more involvement in the emails, on the email front. So last time I checked the email, we actually had a faux spam from what was the dude's name?
It's
Muttley.
Mutt.
He said I remember I saw it in what does the subject say?
It says, increase your penis size in 3 days.
And I was like, fuck, another spam. But then I saw who it was from.
So you immediately clicked on it.
So I clicked on it.
Because
what did Mutt say?
You could use a little help.
Well, I could. At least,
it says, good to hear you guys are still alive and kicking. Thanks for the update. Can't wait until the Midnight Turnaround crew is back on the air, net, stream... Whatever this is called.
However we get the content out there.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for all you do, and you guys are always appreciated. Which, that's a very nice thing to say.
I like Mutt. He emailed us before.
Yeah, he's had a couple back and forth, man. He listens. Like
he does.
That's so cool to me.
And this is another reason why I said, forget trying to get all this production done and all these new ideas to get completed before we do a show, because there are people like him that just want to hear the show.
Yeah, I believe he has like long drives and just needs shit to listen to. Yeah.
We should find out where he's at in the world.
I think he's in Texas.
Okay, that's too far.
Texas.
We can't get him here from Texas.
Right.
But we could Skype him if we get the Skype up, like you mentioned. I would like to get the Skype up because we could have people on the show from all over the world. It'd be awesome.
Right. And so people could call us on Skype and then tell us how awesome we are.
Right. How cool would it be to just have let's do
a sample interview.
Okay.
I'm calling you.
You're calling. Am I on the show or are you on the show?
I'm on the show. You are a listener.
I'm a listener
that has contacted the show.
Okay, wait. Let me get into character.
Ready?
Is this a Skype conversation?
Yeah, Skype.
So you can see me too?
Not necessarily. I don't have video options. I only have audio on Skype.
What is this, the 90s?
I'm in the 90s. Anyways, okay,
so
here we go.
You are Aaron from the Midnight Turnaround, and I am an avid listener.
Yes.
Okay.
Midnight Turnaround. What's your name?
Oh my God, is this Aaron?
Yeah, it's a chick. Yes. Yes, this is Aaron.
I'm such a big listener.
How do you feel talking to me?
I feel really good.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Look, you have 3 minutes to do nothing but tell me how awesome I am. And if you slip up, I'm hanging up on you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna freak out.
Are you freaking out?
I'm freaking out right now.
You better be freaking out.
I gotta text my sister. Hold on.
Text her real fast.
Hold on.
Hang on, we'll hold.
I gotta text her. I gotta text her.
What
do I say? What do I tell her?
Well,
she doesn't even know you.
well, there's our first problem. And wait. You have yet to say anything awesome about me yet.
I like your beard.
Oh, it is a good beard.
I really like your beard.
Thank you. Are you going to text your sister or?
I don't have service. I'm in the bathroom right now.
Are you using the bathroom right now?
I didn't know you were going to call.
Well, you called me.
I didn't know I was going to call you. I didn't know. I thought it was a number 1. It turned into a number 2. I thought you'd be done.
Okay.
I was on hold for like 15 minutes.
That's not accurate. I just answered it.
I thought I was on hold. But you guys are great. I love you guys. She sounded nice.
She was nice. That's exactly the type of calls you can look forward to.
Dude, you always get the good calls. I get the weird dudes that are like chopping wood.
Going like, what do you smell like? Hey, Vic.
What's your favorite kind of dip?
Anyways, that's the magic you can look forward to.
Eventually.
Maybe.
Once the technology catches up to our imagination, we'll be able to do such things. Like Skype girls while they poop.
Right. Well, they'll Skype us.
They will Skype us.
When they start a number 1 that turns into a number 2.
You never know.
We've all been there.
You never know.
We've all been there.
You know what, though? If you're in that situation, it is way more beneficial to be a girl than it is a guy.
Yes, it is. I've been there. I've been there.
If you're a girl,
you have to go find a seat.
You're on a number 2, or you're on a number 1, and it becomes a number 2. I mean, it's a split second. Okay, I'm going to be here a little bit longer than I planned. That's about it. If you're a guy and you're doing a number 1 and it turns into a number 2, you have to plan. You have to strategize how you're going to do this.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in public. And like you said, you're at a urinal and now you got to look for a stall. Maybe there's not one. Once you started peeing and you're already on that outward push, it's hard to stop what's coming out there.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? You ever like had to shit and and you can't shit and you're like at a urinal trying to pee to like relieve some of the pressure? You think that like if you pee a little bit, then you want to shit as bad.
Yeah.
And you're like you get like a Charlie horse in your ass cheek because you're like clenching the holding the back.
Here's actually,
just me. Is that just me?
No. This is a legitimate thought of mine. Sometimes I drink a lot of water, so sometimes I pee a lot, and I'm like, I'm just gonna hold this pee. Sometimes I have to think, if I hold this pee too long, it's going to become a shit.
You think?
Yeah, I know.
Like a liquid
something, shit? It's all connected, man.
It'll say, this needs to come out now.
It's the circle of life. Like, it's like, you know what? You don't want to let pee out? Here's a little poo.
Here's a little poo. If I can't go out the front door, I'm going out the back door. And you're not going to like it. Because the back door opens easier.
That's right. And it's going to become an emergency.
Yes.
So you're holding a number 1. It's going to become code brown number 2.
I don't think I've never held a pee long enough for it to turn into a shit. I've never done that.
Done it.
You've done it?
Done it.
Does it come out like pee? You pee out of your butt?
No. I mean, it just kind of, I think in my opinion of how my system works, I think it goes like, oh, you're not gonna relieve this? Okay. All right, well, I'm going to make you relieve this. I'm going to make you,
because holding in a pee can be annoying. Mm-hmm. But it's not like holding in a deuce is like your life is about to end. Like you start to sweat and your heart starts beating faster and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die if I don't go somewhere now.
You know what I legitimately have to think to myself sometimes? Like, you're a grown man. You've never shit your pants before.
Shit your pants. Oh, you never have?
No.
Oh, I have. I don't trust a grown up that's never shit their pants.
Well, consider me untrusted. Untrustworthy.
I don't trust you. You never had the desire?
I have the desire.
You have the desire to shit your pants?
I sort of want to know what it's like a little bit.
It's usually not very good.
I'm sure it's not good at all, but because you're too young when you actually do shit your pants to realize what's happening, so you're just kind of like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So by the time you realize what's happening, you don't want that to happen at any cost.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm one of the lucky ones. One of the fucking lucky.
Now, see, I think if you're shitting your pants, that the actual act of shitting your pants is probably not the worst thing that's going on at the moment. There's probably other things that are going on that are causing you to shit your pants. Either you're like, wasted or something, or
sick.
You're sick. That's what happened to me. Let me talk about this so that people don't just think I walk around shitting my pants all the time. I was it was like a year or so ago, and I got really sick. Like I had just fever and like stomach bug, head bug, congested, headache. Like it was all over. Okay. And I was really sick, and I felt like crap for like days, like deathly, like sweating and shivers. Like it was bad. And then I felt the need to release some doo-doo. So I get out of bed, and as I'm walking to the bathroom, which was only a couple feet away, then the urge to vomit came on to me, and I had to make a choice.
Oh, boy.
Do I get on the toilet and like try to puke everywhere all over the bathroom, or do I try to puke and shit myself? There wasn't enough time. There really wasn't enough time to even drop draws. There wasn't enough time to drop draws and like grab a trash can to puke into. It was like I need to do one or the other, and the other's going to make a mess. So when I went to the bathroom, I just hit the floor and puked my guts out in the toilet. And when you're having those convulsions, like it went out the back door. Yeah. Oh, you're using your core, and it flew out the back door too.
You did a front door, back door.
I did the Chinese finger trap, if you will. So yes, and that was me shitting my pants as an adult because I was sick.
That's all right. Just never have.
And the funny thing, just a little added tale to the story. This was when I was still living with my parents. So it was more than a year ago. And I did the deed, and I was like laying on the bathroom floor. I was sweating. I like just puked. I shit in my pants. I opened the door and like yelled for my mom, because that's what you do. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Mom, I need a plastic bag. I was gonna, derobe, throw the shit in there,
get away, yeah,
and clean myself up.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, and she wasn't answering. And my dad, what do you want? I'm like, I need a plastic bag. What for? I'm like, will you just give me a plastic bag? Why do you need it? I'm like, Dad, will you give me... Why? I shit my pants, Dad! Give me the bag now! Be there in a minute.
He didn't want to do it for you.
Like he was like watching football or something. He didn't want to get up. He didn't know what I needed it for. Well, I couldn't get it myself. I had to scream that I had shit my pants, and he was like, all right, I'll get there in a minute.
You had to... He was like, this better be an emergency. And then he was like, oh, fuck, it is.
Oh, I guess
it is.
And I don't even think it was that. I think he just wanted to see what I looked like laying on the bathroom floor in a pile of my own shit, is why he actually got up to bring me a bag. Just to see what I looked like and just be like, hey, here you go. You look like you shit.
Well, at least you can have a good chuckle about it now.
Well, I can. I'm not sick anymore.
Yeah. All right.
But next time I'm sick, I'm going to be like, man, this is just like that time I shit my pants.
Okay.
So that was a fun story.
Yeah, I liked it. Okay. So we addressed the cast. We addressed the Facebook. We are doing things differently for the listener. Or for us. Is it for us or for the listener?
I think it's for both. Both parties benefit from it.
Yeah.
Because we have better shows, and then they have better entertainment to
Email or Facebook, either one. We take suggestions. We take, if you want us to discuss something, if you have a question, if you...
We've had a lot of different, I want to say format changes, but we've tried a lot of different stuff. We've tried, covering like current news events. We've tried dabbling in some sports coverage. We've done a little bit of everything, and we don't know what our listeners like to hear.
Right.
So,
do you stick with us the whole time?
Yeah.
Do you listen for 10 minutes?
Do you leave it on in the background while you're like using your ShamWow?
Yeah, exactly. Just when you're just ShamWow in the house.
You got to. Dude, them things go forever. They're so good.
Let us know. Let us know, because we, We want to have fun. We want to be
Midnight
good
turnaround at gmail.com.
Right.
We will check it. I was listening to some older episodes before just to kind of see what's different, what changed from the earlier ones to the later ones, and what we can do differently now.
Yeah.
And I loved how you would always plug, like, if you email us, we will read it.
We will
discuss it on air. It will make it to air. If you email us, we will read it and you will get on air.
There is a guarantee in any early in the career of anyone. What the fuck am I saying?
I don't know, but I'm listening.
There you are. He's just like staring at me. He's listening so
I
hard.
know what you gotta say so bad.
There is a guarantee early in the career of most broadcasters, as I put that in quotes.
We're broadcasting.
You will get your email read because it's few and far between. Which is why we appreciate such kind words when we get them.
Right.
It says like, thanks for doing what you do. You at least made me like smirk in the car. You might not have laughed, but something we said was like,
right. And you know what? I'll address the negatives. If someone wants to email and say, hey, your show sucks because Vic is an idiot.
You're opening up the door though.
You know what?
You're opening up the YouTube comment door.
Whatever comes our way, I'll discuss it.
Okay.
If someone says, your show sucks, and so do Beards, then I'll say, whoa, buddy.
Here's the thing.
Beards are awesome. Our show is okay.
Provide some constructive criticism.
Yeah.
If you're going to say, you guys suck. Say, you guys suck. Get a whole new cast. You know what I mean? I'll keep listening when nothing is the same.
When nothing is the same. Change the people on the show and also the name, and I will like it.
And where it airs.
Where it airs. Jesus. It airs from Banana Mike Studios. It's a studio because it has a table.
It's a studio we all know. This is the cardinal rule of a studio. You have a folding table. It's in the fucking handbook of podcasting.
Yeah. I went to school for broadcasting. Day one, they say, get a folding table.
Day one.
Day one.
Actually, they go around the room and they say, sir or madam, do you have a folding table? Yes. Okay, stay. Do you have a folding table? Yes. Stay. Do you have a folding table? No. Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of here.
What are you doing here?
You're not going to make it in broadcasting without a folding table.
You're not going to make it. Sorry, kid. And then they like shove all your books off the desk.
They don't use books.
All your broadcasting books.
You don't have those.
All your scripts that you've written.
Nope. You have handouts. We had handouts.
He rips your handouts out.
That's not what handouts mean at all. It means they print off things that you read along and
rips up your handouts.
Oh,
is what I said.
I thought you said rip your hand.
Are you here?
Oh. I don't know why I thought you said rip their hand off. I'm like, that's not what a handout is.
He rips their hands off and says,
"You don't have a folding table? Give me your left hand."
And then just chop.
Well, you said rip. That's different.
I guess you're right. Never mind.
Fucking pathetic.
I've never been to broadcast school.
You went to a real college.
Yes, I did. However, I don't want to get into that.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't want to get into that. I did go to real college. What does that mean, real? A university.
You went to a university. You went to
a vocational school.
Sort of, yeah. I went to I wouldn't necessarily call it a vocational school. It was a trade school.
Trade. Oh, okay. I think that is the same.
Oh. I always think vocational school is like what you do in like high school instead of going to high school.
Well, I think of vocational school like you're going to learn a trade, a craft, a vocation.
Well, probably the same thing then.
Because I also learned this week that an avocation is a hobby. Yeah, I did learn that.
I wish I could get paid for my avocations.
I know, like this.
Yeah.
If we could start bringing in some dough.
That'd be great.
Yeah, which is also why we're changing things up just a hair because, we had a theme song and it was perfect.
It was good.
However, perfect things you have to pay for in the real world.
Yeah, we don't have money.
We don't have any money. So if this were to ever actually go anywhere, we don't want Columbia Records knocking on our door saying, here's what they would say. You guys are the most popular podcast we have ever heard. You've got millions of listeners. We want some money. That's our theme song.
You got popular because you used our theme song.
Yeah.
That presidents didn't even write.
No, they didn't.
They did not. So it wouldn't even be them. Who wrote "Kick Out the Jams"? It was like a
there's been
70s band or
1,000
something.
versions of it.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, so it's no longer going to be our theme song.
yeah, we're gonna get our creative juices flowing.
We're working on some new material.
Then we're gonna drink those juices.
We're going to drink the juices. We're going to hold in the pee till it turns into a shit. And then we're going to shit out a new theme song in the near future.
I love what you did with that.
You like it?
I love it.
It was good. It was a group effort. A group of two. Can you call two people a group?
Yeah, the White Stripes did.
I mean, we're not a couple.
The White Stripes is a rock band.
They're
a whole fucking band.
Are we a band?
Black Keys, they're a band. They're only two guys.
But I mean, we're not making music.
We're a group, though.
We're a group, like a doo-wop group.
We are the podcast doo-wop. Podcast doo-wop is our genre.
Podcast doo-wop. I wonder if that is a genre in like YouTube uploads. Like,
Shoo-wop.
are you looking for comedy? Are you looking for action? Are you looking for
Doo-wop?
podcast doo-wop?
Shoo-wop. Shoo-wop. In the still of the night, I held you tight. That's all you get.
Yeah, we're gonna
For free.
We're gonna do an album. So I mean, I guess we are a
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, and that's
We were a band. We were in a band together.
we were in a band
Many years ago.
Let's save that.
Okay.
Let's hashtag.
You know what we should do? This is what we should do. I just had a great idea.
Well, let's not discuss it on air.
Okay.
Because we used to do that.
We did?
We used to discuss what we were going to do the next show
And never do it.
never fucking do it.
You're right. You're right. We did do that a lot.
We would never touch anything we talked about in the previous episode.
Well, because we would forget.
Exactly.
We should take notes.
We should take notes.
Or we should get emails from people that say, hey, you mentioned you would do this. You should do this.
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Because we pay more attention to
So-
our emails than our own shows.
So stay tuned for episode 3 because we're going to discuss something when these mics go off.
And it's going to be great.
And is it going to be in episode 3? Who knows?
Is it going to be in episode 12?
Possibly.
Is it ever going to be an episode? You'll never know because you won't know what the idea is.
That's right. And then you can't call and talk shit. You can't Skype us and talk shit and say, like, you say you're going to do all this stuff and you never do it.
So we're just going to stop saying what we're going to do.
Yep, because you'll never know.
You'll never know. That seems counterproductive.
Let's talk about one more thing before we sign off this time.
Okay.
This show.
Today.
All right. So, if you listen to any like the last 5 episodes of season 1, I like saying that.
It's season 1.
I like saying that.
I know. Because then we could tell people, like, yeah, we're in our 8th season.
Yeah. How many shows?
We should make each episode a season, and then we'd be like in the 29th
We'd
season.
already be in the like 29th season.
Okay, if you're listening to the last 5 episodes,
You would know that Vic and I do a thing called CrossFit.
oh yeah. Well, I mentioned that at the beginning, I think.
You did?
I mentioned, it might have been before we started recording. We were just talking.
Yeah. Well, we're doing CrossFit. We're still at it. We're still going at it.
Love it.
Still loving it. On the precipice of the CrossFit Open.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Which is basically any athlete in the whole world that wants to try to make it to the official CrossFit Games has a chance.
They do.
I do not.
You have a chance.
I have a chance if everyone else caught malaria and died.
Yeah.
So you're saying I have a
So
chance?
you're saying there's a chance.
What? I feel like there was something I was going to talk about, and I just lost it.
Okay, CrossFit Open.
Go ahead, take it.
What I want to say about it is I haven't signed up yet, but I'm going to. I think there's a couple of days left to
Just a
sign
few
up.
days left, yeah.
I know I'm not going to place beyond our gym and all that, but the really cool thing is that once you register, you get an athlete profile on the CrossFit website, and you can compare yourself to any athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those who don't know, Rich Froning is the CrossFit champion 2 years in a row. He's the fittest man on earth 2 years in a row. So by signing up for the Open, I can go to CrossFit Is it CrossFit.com? I don't know what the website is. But the official CrossFit website.
Games.CrossFit. Something like that.
And I can pull up my profile and compare it to his profile and see what his times are for these workouts side by side with mine, what his weight is for these, what his PRs and all that kind of stuff is.
That's sweet.
And it's just awesome to see. This is the fittest man in the world, and this is my flabby ass next to him in comparison on the same website. Like, that's kind of cool.
And it's kind of cool in the fact that you will never play in a Super Bowl.
Never.
I don't
have the arms. I can't throw the ball.
I'm at peace with knowing that.
Yeah.
We're all doing the same workouts. Mm-hmm. We're all in the game. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter that, there is a very high chance that I don't go to regionals and I don't go to the finals. Mm-hmm. You're all in there sweating together. And I think that's what they enforce about CrossFit is the community. Mm-hmm. Like, just do it. Like, just get in there and try.
Right.
And who knows, in 5-6 years, why couldn't I go?
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas in 5 or 6 years, I'll still never go to the Super Bowl.
You won't.
Because I'm not going to make a professional team.
The great thing about CrossFit, too, is then as you get older, there's different brackets for older people. So I may not ever be, in the CrossFit Games, on the regular brackets, but maybe by the time I'm older and I'm in the Masters, which is what, like 55 and older? Or
I want to say, I think 45?
45 and older, something like that. By the time I'm up there, maybe I could be, in the Masters bracket or something that. Because I plan on doing it till I'm that old.
Hopefully.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like how you said the last 5 episodes or so, when really it's like almost the whole first season, I think. Because we started in
July.
No. We started the podcast in April.
Yeah.
April, June, or April, May, June, July. So 4 months into the podcast, we started CrossFit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and we went July, August,
September,
October, November. 5 months. So we were in CrossFit.
Yeah.
For longer than half the season. You said the last 5 episodes.
You're right,
I know we talked about CrossFit every show.
We did. It got crazy.
And that's why I think that might be another reason why Tony and Jeremy were like, oh, I can't make it to the show tonight because you guys are just going to talk about CrossFit.
I'll tell you what. You get a bunch of CrossFitters in a room. And it sounds so strange being only, 8 or 9 months in?
7.
July to August, September, October, November, December, January, February. We just hit March.
What is it?
So we're going 8 months in.
Wait.
July.
July to August.
Yeah.
September, October, November, December, January, February.
Yeah, 7. So I said
7.
Yeah, and I said 8 because it's March. Man, it's March. Whatever.
Yeah, we started.
You just took
7.5. Look, meet me in the middle.
You just took every wind out of the story that I was gonna. I don't even remember what I was gonna say because you're a fucking derailed train. So you're welcome, listeners. We get to have interpersonal arguments on the air. Hey, I was going to say, calling myself a CrossFitter. Do you consider yourself a CrossFitter?
Absolutely.
Okay. It sounds weird saying that. Like,
why? I consider myself when we started.
I do too. Because I have a hard time sort of like not accepting it, but I feel like you need like a year in before you can say it.
I don't think that at all.
Whereas I could go play a game of pickup football and I would call myself a football player.
No, but it's different. I mean, I wouldn't say as soon as you join, you're a CrossFitter. Because some people will join, they'll do it, they'll get through elements, they'll do it for a few weeks and be like, this ain't for me, and then they hit the road.
Yeah.
But I think once you get past that, if you've done that, you've been at least a couple weeks and you're into it, then yeah, I think you're a CrossFitter.
I agree. And
but definitely after 7.5 months.
On those lines, I brought it up because there's probably going to be a lot more of this talk because it dominates a good percentage of what we do. We our day to day.
We work, we CrossFit, we go to sleep.
Yeah.
You have a child that you play with. I play Call of Duty. So
if you don't like it, tell your CrossFit buddies to listen.
Yeah.
Because
you would like this because they talk about CrossFit. I don't like it though.
Right. I don't like it. I'm turning it off. You'll love it. And the thing is, there's a lot of CrossFit podcasts.
Podcasts. There's a lot of podcasts out there.
There's a lot of podcasts
you
out
listen
there.
to all the podcasts and they talk about all the different stuff. Listen when we talking about the CrossFit and we like it a lot.
And just like a lot of articles and stuff that you might read just looking into CrossFit like I have. Everything is sort of written and geared for the elite athlete. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think you and I are more the normal dude.
Yes.
Like I would say there's a bigger percentage of dudes like us than dudes like Rich Froning.
Correct. I totally agree.
So I always like to hear those stories, like, oh, my knee hurts today. Not, I got a PR of 400 overhead squat. Like
400 is a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Right. And sort of back to the comparison you're making with like professional football or something like that. People can join CrossFit and they're doing the same thing that these professional CrossFit athletes are doing. Whereas there's no way you can just join the NFL. You can't join the NBA. You can't join Major League Baseball and just say, eventually I'll work up to that. You can't do that. But you can join CrossFit and you're doing the same exact stuff. You may not be on the same level, but you're in the same league as them, which is really cool. And eventually you can work up to that.
And when you're watching the CrossFit games on TV, like we've watched reruns in the 2012 this year.
You watched them?
Watched them.
We watched them.
I don't know what's going on with my mouth.
I don't know either.
I do know what's going on with my mouth.
Oh.
But
I don't want to know what's going on with your mouth.
When you see somebody picking up a bar and doing a thruster, you've been there.
Yeah.
And you're like, I know how horrible that is.
Yeah.
And by horrible, I mean great.
Great. Horrible.
There's never, like, whenever I speak horribly of a workout, it's because it's such a dynamic move that it's awful on your, whatever.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So you're like, I've been there. Like, I've been to that point of throwing the bar down and going like, screw this.
Right.
Like, what am I doing?
The funny thing is that I like is when you're working on a WOD that has low weight. And you're looking at it like, oh, that's low weight. That should be fine. But it's low weight because the rest of the workout it works you to exhaustion.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to this lifting element in the workout, you can't even lift, 75 pounds. You're like, this is the heaviest weight I've ever lifted in my life.
Right.
And you see someone trying to do like, trying to clean 75 pounds after they rode 1,000 meters and did pull-ups and ring dips and all this other stuff. And you're like, why is that so hard for them to lift? And you're like, because they're doing it.
They are in it.
And we did this workout the other day, kind of like that. And I was like, oh, 75 pound. It was overhead squats. I'm like, 70 pound overhead squats. I'm like, that's not that bad. But yeah, it was like rowing and ring dips and pull-ups and all this other stuff. And by the time I got to the overhead squats, I'm like, fuck this, man.
It was 200 pounds.
It weighed as much as a Chevrolet.
Yeah. So yeah, I love it, man. We are in it to win it. And I'm in the best condition I've been in my entire life.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I took the we've mentioned this before in season 1, but it's still predominant in season 2 because it hasn't happened yet. We're talking about the Tough Mudder that we're doing in a few months.
Very soon.
And I remember when I'd first heard about Tough Mudder.
It's actually in like 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah.
When I first heard about Tough Mudder, you can go on the website and there's this little link that says, "Are you Tough Mudder ready?"
Yeah.
And it says how many push-ups can you do, how many pull-ups you can do, what's your body type, how tall are you, all this stuff. And I remember filling that out, and I don't remember the result, but I remember it wasn't good.
I remember my result.
Do you?
It was not good.
What did it say?
It was basically
you should train.
The message is, you should probably work out a little bit before you sign up.
Right.
And I had already signed up.
Yeah. I did that same survey thing the other day.
Yeah.
And I think I rated like 85% like Tough Mudder
like ready. Okay.
Because it's in like scales like 0 to 25 is like you can't do this. 25 to 50 is like you should work a little bit before you go.
Yeah.
Like 50 to 70, it's broken down. So I was in like the second to like the top bracket is like you're an elite athlete, you could crush this, and the one below that was like you're Tough Mudder ready.
Yeah.
So I was like,
you were ready.
I feel good about that.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like I'm ready.
I'm ready.
We're gonna run a few, 5Ks. A couple, maybe 5Ks in between that time.
And you know what? I don't need to sign up to do a 5K. I can go out my front door and do it.
Yeah, but the environment's different.
It is. It's
the environment's
good.
A lot different.
I like it. But I mean, I don't need to. I'm not saying if there isn't one scheduled that weekend, I can still go do one.
I gotcha. So yeah, more of this kind of talk.
More of this. Emails, midnightturnaround@gmail.com. Let us know what's on your mind and what you would like to hear us discuss.
Facebook.com/Midnight Turnaround is where you can find us on the web. And here's what sucks. Share it with your friends, please. If you even remotely enjoy it, please share it on your page, because if you don't pay for ads on Facebook now, you reach 10% of your likes. So if we have 75, you know what I mean? It's going out to roughly 7 to 10 people.
Right.
And it'll tell you you've reached 11 people. And I think that's complete bullshit.
Yeah.
If I paid, I understand why Facebook does it. They want you to pay to promote your shit.
Right.
But we're not being paid to do this. So word of mouth is pretty much all we have to go off, or sharing it on our feed like 7 times a day.
Which we don't want to do.
Nobody likes that guy that shares their shit 7 times a day.
I don't do that.
So, you know, word of mouth is the best thing for us, and I think 2013 is going to be fun, man. We
got a lot of ideas, a lot of big things coming up that will hopefully come to fruition.
Yes.
I would say we have so many things that we want to do that even if we only accomplish maybe half of them, it'll still be a really good season.
I agree.
Of the show.
I agree. So with that, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and send your emails, send your comments. We will read them
on air.
It is a guarantee.
You will be mentioned.
If you hear it in the next 2 episodes, you know, if you listen to the next couple episodes, you will hear it. So, take care. How do we do this?
I don't know.
We usually say.
I think the turnaround is done.
It's done, right?
Because obviously we don't do this at midnight.
Is it obvious?
I think it's we don't do it at midnight. We can't say, "Oh, it just so happens to be midnight."
Well, did you really think that the people thought we did it at midnight in a dark room?
Some of them do.
With no lights on,
naked. Then we used to say we did it naked. We always did it. Every show was in the dark, naked.
Naked, except for the glow of your laptop
and the folding table. I don't know. Email us or message us on Facebook and let us know what you want the sign off to be.
That's a good idea. Thanks, man.
If we get one, that's what it'll be. So until then, salutations.
Until then, thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.